Welcome
Welcome
to Shade in
Shade
the
in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nose.
And yes, I am particularly chipper today because I am loving these likes and subscribes. Yes. Come through
Yes, we
Shade
are.
Squad and welcome new viewers. If you have not already, please make sure that you've hit the like button.
And that subscribe button.
And let me tell you what we're reviewing. I'm just so damn happy y'all here. We're gonna be doing 90 Day the Other Way, season 5, episode 2, something about long distance mediums or something like that. It's getting real spiritual and weird up in here. But yeah, y'all, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. As we've talked about, we are just trying to hit that 500 mark and keep growing and glowing. And so we appreciate it, guys. We really do see it. It makes our day. It makes it all worth it. So I just had to start the video off with that and say thank you, because I usually don't get to say it to the end, and I don't even know if y'all make it that far. But anyway, let's get into it, guys, and let's get shady. Holly and her mother, they're headed for their trip to South Africa to meet Wayne. She said her and her mother are close and tells her to be honest about her feelings about Wayne. Now, her mother admits that she's a little bit concerned about Holly's safety and is worried, because the house has been broken into twice. They have these power outages that she was referring to where the security goes out. So I'm kind of with her mom.
Valid concerns.
Very valid. And even her mom admits that she had second thoughts about going to South Africa her damn self. So Holly feels like she's finally getting to live out her fairy tale, and she's very excited. So she said she would be devastated if this third marriage
with this fairy tale.
Look. And I said she would be devastated if this third marriage did not work out. Because it is number 3. I'm just saying.
I just want her to know Rapunzel only got married once.
Right. Now, Wayne is excited about seeing Holly, but worries about her mom tagging along. And Holly arrives and she's sick. And that's pretty much what I got for that. And then Holly is so sick that she's stuck in the bathroom while Wayne is waiting for her. And when she finally gets to embrace Wayne, she tells him not to kiss her. But he doesn't care. After 7 months, he just wants to embrace her. And I was just like, she's telling you for a reason, bro. Heat warning. He does recognize that she looks pale as hell. And her mom thinks Wayne is all right, but says she really does not know him well enough to know yet. So Wayne is embarrassed because Holly sits down and her dress hikes up to her cooch. Okay.
And her boobs basically almost fell out.
Right.
It was like
and he's a little bit, he feels like it's too short and she's doing a bit much and people are looking at her. And he says, Holly's going to need to change her ways because he ain't wifing that. Okay. Now
he really is though. In what, a week?
Yeah. So he's ready to get them home, and production asked them about their living plans. He wants to move to a gated community. And
no. She wants to move to a gated
community. Yeah. She wants to move to a gated community. And he thinks that they need to talk more about it because he has security already.
And he put so much money into it. She said, sir, I made too many sacrifices and you hit the wife lottery. Okay. You best do what I say. Well, we have a new cast member. Don't, at me for butchering this name. I believe it's Tajaswi. But he goes by but we're gonna call him TJ. That's what he said to call him. Okay, so his name is TJ. He's 33 from Jaipur, India.
Why is everybody 33 on every show? Is that like the magic number? Like when I dial it back and I start lying about my age, am I just gonna choose 33 because that's the number to do it? I'm just saying, not saying that he's
probably,
lying. I'm just saying on every show we review, everybody is 33. And I just think it's everybody was born the same year. Okay.
So he said he does voiceovers, and he has been for the past 10 years. He lives in a nice neighborhood, but in India, he said you don't live your own individual life, which we know. He said your neighbors are all in your mess and help you whether you want them to or not.
Right. It's a community.
It's a community, yes. And we know that from every 90-day India episode we've seen. Now, he lives with his parents and his brother. He said they're very traditional. His mom takes care of the household, while the men, they go out and earn for the family. He also said you'll see a lot of cows there. They see them as like the mother figure, because you leave from your mom's milk and you go to the cow's milk. Now, I ain't never thought of it that way, but
Hey, I love it. Did you talk about the voiceovers, or do I miss that? I'm sorry, it might have went over my head. It might have went over.
That was literally like the first or second thing I said.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
Once again, you see what I got to deal with.
Don't do that.
Now, he said that they have a cow. It is like the 5th member of their family. Okay. Now, he said 2 years ago, he joined a spiritual group on social media, and that's how he met his girlfriend, Kimberly. Initially, he sent her a friend request, but she didn't accept it. And he wanted to know why. Basically, she said he was covering up his face, and he thought like it was super stylish. He thought he was doing his thing.
Oh, yeah, he thought he was giving.
And she thought he was a spammer. I don't know if she meant
spammer or scam.
He said spammer, but
I
think maybe he heard her wrong, and she actually said scammer.
Right.
But he said he manifested her, okay, because he knew she was his destiny. He took a screenshot of her picture from her profile and started meditating that she should text him. And the next day he got a text. Now that's manifestation for your ass.
Okay, I'm not against the manifestation. Now,
I don't know about manifesting people.
But that's a little, I mean, I do believe that you can manifest anything. I mean, I hate to say, when you see people, and it could be coincidence in just life, but when you see people be like,
after she said her side, I believe he manifested her.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't see nothing wrong with manifesting things that you need in your life, or success, prosperity, things like that. But manifesting people just seem a little weird. And people that you ain't never met before, you don't know what the hell you're gonna get. I don't know.
Well, that's so basically, you can't be letting your spirits out here intermingle with everybody.
So after 6 months of dating, they met in person. Then she stayed in India for a year on her student visa, and he proposed to her. And he's glad that his parents approved of his love marriage proposal. But he knows life would be easier if he chose an Indian girl, because his family expects his wife to be like a traditional Indian wife and do the traditional Indian things. And this is not
surprise. She don't really want to do that.
No, she don't even know.
Oh yeah, that part. He ain't telling her nothing.
He really doesn't plan to tell her until they're married. You are a scammer. She had the right, maybe she is clairvoyant, okay? She had the right idea about you. She just...
Look, her spirit guides didn't tell her about this.
So then we meet Kimberly, who is 30. She's from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. She said that she has
sound like anywhere I want to be.
No, it doesn't. They sound like they got cows and stuff there too. Yeah. She said she has a few spiritual gifts. She's able to see different entities that are not physical. She's clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairaudient, and probably many more. There's so many clairs.
It's a lot of clairs.
And she said that it helped her to meet her fiance through a dream, but she didn't see his face, which is kind of crazy to me, because he, in his profile picture, was covering his face. So she asked her spirit guides for help. And then he reached out to her on social media. And after talking to him for a while, her spirit guides let her know that he was the one. Then 6 months later, she asked him to marry him through text. And she said, that's not a real proposal.
I was going to say,
so she hopped on a plane. Huh?
No, go ahead.
So she hopped on a plane to meet him. And then 2 months after meeting him, she accepted his proposal, and they decided to hold off because she was still on her temporary visa. So since she's been back home for about 4 months, and she's about to go back to get married and start their new life. Apparently, him and his family have taken over the wedding plans, which makes her extremely nervous because he doesn't even know the difference between the different shades of pink. She's also going crazy over an apartment that they're having built above TJ's parents' home, because the details that they discussed does not seem to be what he's following through with. So I guess the plan is for her to stay with his family for a while, and she doesn't really know how that's going to work because she can't even cook her Italian sauteed garlic and onions in house. Right. Which to her is the best in the world. And apparently Hindus believe that carries bad energy because it's so pungent. And once again, he just tells her, trust in him.
Trust
so
the
he
process.
has her exactly. So he has her pull a card for him. And apparently the one that he picks, she says that the meaning is that he's not so confident right now, but in a couple of days, things are going to shine through. And he feels that it relates to their situation that they're going through right now. Now, TJ
is it just me, or does he seem like he just, I mean, I hate to spoiler alert, but is it just me, or does he seem like he just lies to her? This seems to be like a common theme but he just pacifies her and tells her what she wants to hear and lies through it and doesn't really listen to anything she has to say.
A scammer.
Yeah, okay.
So TJ said Kimberly will be arriving in a few days, and 10 days after that, they'll be getting married. So the wedding is fastly approaching, and it seems to be aggravating the hell out the brother. Because he said normally all the wedding stuff is done by the bride's side, but since she doesn't know much about the culture and she's in America, his family is basically taking it on. And
they made that sound like that was something, or the way I took it, he made it seem like it was something they wanted to do. So for his brother to be complaining, how you gonna be resentful? I don't know. It made me feel like it was something they wanted to do. Like
the TJ made it seem like it was something that they wanted to do.
Oh, so he just be lying to everybody.
Apparently, she doesn't know so much about the culture that she wanted to wear a white wedding dress, which apparently there is for funerals and for widows. So she'll be wearing red. His brother said that he don't think she'll be able to adapt. Okay.
He's not feeling it.
Yeah. And he kind of agreed that it would be hard for her, especially living in the same house. One of her concerns is privacy. His mom said, privacy where? Y'all got your own room. What else you need? Now I'm getting the feeling that the brother really doesn't like her. He said that she's moody and short-tempered. Apparently he thinks this is like an American thing, and it might be. He let him know right now, mom is the one doing everything. But when your wife gets here, we're going to have to divide that up. We're going to have to split some of that up. So it'll be your future wife and mommy doing everything. And basically, TJ says,
she got to earn her keep. And it ain't gonna be making holiday greetings. You ain't gonna have no time. You better come sweep these floors and do what you gotta do.
Sing your little jingle while you're cleaning.
Right. And I wish you would put this bubble wrap on my damn newly swept. You're
so stupid. TJ said that that they need to be flexible. She is adaptable, and there's the kitchen. She'll cook. And that they need to be, more compromising, and basically tells his brother that he's not going to argue with him about this. Now, he knows Kimberly is not going to want to change her U.S. way of thinking and believes that will cause some conflict between her and his family when they're living together. And his brother just is just like, yeah, all right, we'll see. Now, apparently, yes, Kimberly
His brother's gonna run her out of there, if anything.
Yes, he is. I think he's gonna try to make things a little bit harder for her.
Right.
Harder than they need to, because the mom seemed like she's like, we're not gonna like torture her or anything. Like,
right.
But apparently Kimberly makes these holiday videos that she posts on social media that Trace was just talking about. She says she doesn't have many subscribers, but if you need a reason to celebrate,
I wasn't prepared. I ain't got no bubble wrap. This would have been so appropriate.
You'd have been falling over in the bubble wrap.
Rip me out the plastic. I've been acting brand new.
You're so stupid. And she said there's so many holidays. Some of her favorites are Dump That Jerk Day and Talk Like a Pirate Day. She said that she's a habitual optimist. And she had to make it a habit because growing up she was depressed, and she saw that there was a lot of people just like her, so she thought it was important to share the positivity. Now, she went bowling with her family at a place called Split Happens. I don't know why I thought the name of this was so freaking cute. I was like, that is creative. I thought it was cute. Now, she says that she's been staying with them since she's been back, and she's super excited that they'll be coming in a week for the wedding. She said that she really appreciates the relationship that she has with them. that she has with her dad and her stepmom. Apparently, him and her mom got a divorce when she was about 4, and they went through an 8-year custody battle where they went back and forth every year. The kids were living with the mom and the dad, and eventually the dad got custody and moved them all to Arkansas with him. Now, the stepmom, Judy, gets super emotional, and she feels like that's more of her maternal figure because she felt like her mom never really liked her as much as she likes her other siblings. And that was mainly because she feels that she has a lot of her dad's traits. Now, she said she still tries to talk to her mom, but their relationship just is not good. Kimberly feels that TJ doesn't really take her serious when she expresses herself. She feels like she's sacrificing a lot and doesn't feel that he's been very supportive whenever she wants to talk about the construction or the wedding. And she doesn't really feel supported or heard. And she really wants to have the same dynamic or something close to the dynamic that her dad and stepmom have. And she feels as time gets closer, she's getting more and more worried because this is the type of man she will be marrying.
Duh.
Would you say duh?
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't listen to anything she has to say. But unfortunately, I think I feel like even with Jenny and Sumit, we saw that, and I hate to bring them back up and compare, but what's the other one that we just left? Rishi. They don't really be listening to them. For real.
That's not their culture.
Right. Kenny and Armando. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I always liked Armando, but Armando's starting to get on my nerves. I'm just be honest with y'all. So Kenny is excited about the first day in Mexico City. They get up, they can't wait to get out and about, so they decide to go to the market. Now, Armando decides that he comments on how sketchy the area looks. Then when they go to the market, he decides that he's going to let Kenny go shopping on his own because he has to basically speak Spanish in order to, talk to the vendors and whatever and get what he needs. So he decides he wants to play love games and send Kenny in there to basically.
I didn't think that was a love game. I think that he's used to having to do everything for Kenny because Kenny doesn't speak English, and it's a little bit harder in Mexico City because back in wherever they live, he can go to the market, and he said things are labeled, so he can easily get what he needs.
No, I get what you're saying, but he was doing it to prove a point. It was a love game.
He was doing it.
It was a love.
But he proved his point.
Yeah, he did, but he's also, in my opinion,
basically, I'm not going to be babysitting you. You want to move here, and I'm not going to be babysitting you and going to the market every time you need to go to the market, and you need to know how hard it is compared to where we just came from. So I need you to take that into consideration. I wouldn't call it a love game. I think it was premature for him to do it.
Right.
I think he could have gave him just a little taste, but really sending him in a store like that was like a little bit much. But I think he did need to kind of if we're
No,
all
and I get what you're saying. Let me just say this. I'm not opposed to what he was saying and the message behind it. Kenny does need to consider that. But again, when you look at, and we'll get there. So anyway, they go to the store. It's a disaster, right? They come out, they sit down, they're talking about it. And Kenny is still on board. He still wants to move to Mexico City, even though it was terrible. And Hannah seems like, she's okay with it. She doesn't,
I am so proud of Hannah.
Right.
She speaks such perfect English.
She does. She's not thrilled about leaving her grandma, obviously, or being, further away from her grandmother. But at the same time, she's like, well, you away from your kids.
She's like, you did it. I said, oh, all right, Hannah.
So how come Hannah can realize it and her daddy can't? That's what did it for me.
I was like, wow.
How does a 9-year-old grasp a concept better than somebody who, how old is Armando again? 34 now? I'm just saying. I mean, if he wants
to miss your family, I'll miss my family, but you got used to it. I'll get used to it. I said, oh, okay.
Right. So, basically Armando stresses again, he's still concerned about Kenny getting around on his own. Kenny then brings up again how he feels like he's not being fair, and then being kind of closed-minded. And he's like, basically, I didn't do that to you when it came to moving down here, moving away from my family, my kids, my grandkids. And then Armando's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. It seems like you're resentful and you're holding it over my head and da-da-da. And I'm like, because when have you folded? Maybe I'm wrong. Armando, please, if you watch, drop down in the comments. I would love to know. But unless there's something off camera that we did not see, at what point have you compromised or changed something for Kenny outside of from leaving your parents' little compound? What? Kenny has been the one making all the sacrifices and the changes so I think that's why Armando irritates me, that he would put him in, like, if anything, it'd be like, oh, well, I taught you, so now that means we need to sit down and we need to go over our Spanish a little bit more. And I understand he's dyslexic and whatever, and he has challenges that keep him from really, that may keep him from learning it as quickly as maybe other people. But it can still be done if he wants to. And I would say, if I were Armando, I would say, if you feel that strongly, get your Spanish game up. If you're just as passionate about moving, be just as passionate about getting your Spanish game up, and we can do it. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like Armando's doing the most. He's not willing to compromise. He's selfish, but then he wants this baby. And it's all, I want. And then when Kenny's like, well, yeah, I expect you to at least consider this. And he's like, no, I'm not compromised. You expect me to compromise on this? I was through with Armando. I'm sorry.
So for me, I completely agree. I completely agree with everything you just said. I just want to know what is the it for Armando, because you're saying that it's a dangerous area. And yes, I've heard of Mexico City. I've heard it is dangerous. But there are a lot of places that are dangerous, right?
In Mexico.
Well, I mean, even here
in general, right?
Yeah, that are dangerous, and people still live there. People still live the places in Miami. People still live there. We knew were dangerous. People still go there. People still live there. Now, if he was saying because of Hannah, right? I could maybe take it into a little bit more consideration, because that's like, they like us. Maybe it's not a situation where we think it's dangerous, but maybe it's a super like an area where our race is not accepted so much, right? And you have like these concerns about sending your kids there, about living in certain areas or things happening and your kid going to school or whatever, right? I think that he could try to make them both happy, or try to, maybe if it's the area in Mexico City where they are, then maybe look for a different area, or like, how like maybe say like a certain city, you don't want to live in a city, but you can live like, on the outskirts.
You don't want to live in DC, but you live in Alexandria. You don't want
exactly. Maybe it could be like a compromise like that, where you can still get to Mexico City super easy, 10-15 minute drive for you, but not living in the city, maybe because it's whatever concerns you have for your family or your child or whatever, right?
Or
Just
they could
to
even
ease
go
your
half
mind.
and half and do Mexico City summers. I think that would be a good compromise. We'll do Mexico City in the summers. This will be our new summer thing. We'll do this every summer. We'll get a
I
house.
mean, if they got it like that, then yeah,
I think
because
he got it. If he out here just surrogacy and did it, I think he got it. Kenny gives me that he got it. That's another reason why Armando should watch himself. But because we all know who holds the bag, okay? But no, but even I agree with you, and even if it was about Hannah, they already said on the first episode, Hannah's school is an hour away from where they live now. They drive her an hour to go to school every single, so like maybe in Mexico City she'll actually be able to walk to school, or you understand what I'm saying, something reasonable. So I get where Kenny's coming from, and even Hannah has a good attitude about it. It's really just Armando, and that's why it irritates me.
Maybe they just need to do a little bit more digging. You know, maybe he needs to check out the school.
Or okay, I'm gonna even play devil's advocate, even though I don't believe that it's this, but I would even say maybe Armando has such baby fever that he doesn't want to think about living with a newborn, a very small child in Mexico City, or i.e. he may also know that if Kenny gets to live in Mexico City where it's popping, I guess apparently there's things to do, they're not out in the country, Kenny might want to be out in these streets, and that's going to make him more unlikely to want to bring a newborn home. So I think he has his reasons, but again,
learn Spanish
they're all
easier.
selfish. They're all selfish.
You heard me?
Well,
learn Spanish easier.
Right.
So Julio is still waiting for Kirsten to get cleared through customs, but she finally made it through. Apparently she was held up because they thought she was smuggling. They're just glad that saga is over with, and now they have to get over the hurdle with his family being okay with him leaving with her. So she gets to New York and sees a school bus for the first time. I thought this was hilarious. She's like, I only see them in movies.
That's actually really cute, because can you imagine that they don't take the school bus because they probably bike or walk?
Damn, never seen one? You never seen a school bus? Then she said, where's the guy holding the thing, talking about the Statue of Liberty?
That was actually really cute.
He thought it was super cute. So then they get to 42nd Street, and she actually gets to see a guy dressed up as a Statue of
Liberty, right,
holding the torch. So it was really cute. Now she said that Times Square is super cool for tourists, but it's overwhelming. And he said he gets it. He doesn't even want to live there, and wants to make this move as soon as possible. He just wants to make sure that he has everything in order first.
Where is he at?
Huh?
He said he's from what part of New York? Because when they said his part of New York, I automatically assumed that it was kind of
I don't think he's in the city. He got a hotel.
I don't think so either. No, okay.
He had got a hotel.
For some reason I thought he was like from up north New York, like not really.
I don't remember where he's from, but I don't think he's from the city. But
I don't think so either.
I know for this he had got a hotel in the city.
Okay, well, no, because when he said I could never live there, that's why he wants to get out so bad. I was like, but don't you live in like up north New York? Like not real New York? Not trying to be no offense to New York, but like,
you mean no offense to upstate?
Yeah, upstate. I mean,
I don't remember where he said he was from. But he did say that he wants to find an apartment before he gets there, and she told him, "Sir, you need to find a job. Okay, and it's gonna be real hard for you to do since you don't speak the language." And he said, "You know what? I tried.
We got another one."
He said it's hard as hell. Dutch is hard. Okay, but he said
I'm not gonna lie. When I hear them like speak it, it sounds hard.
The two words that he said, yes and no, sound hard. It sounds super far from yes and no. Now he said that he plans to go in January, and he's sacrificing a lot, but he sees a better future over there, so he's going to take the chance.
Well, I think that this is a cute couple. They don't seem to really have any issues or problems. I think that they're actually going to make it. The only thing that's weird to me, and I don't know if you picked up on this either, it's supposed to be 90 Day Fiancé the other way.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard them mention that they're engaged, that they've gotten married.
They ain't even living together.
Right. He's just moving.
I ain't playing that. I ain't taking care of no man. You can't even come here with a job, sir. You can't pay no bills. You figure it out on your own.
That's why he's coming on a residency visa. So he's getting this himself. It's not like he's coming on like the normal standard 90-day visa. But that would give me, not saying, if a man is willing to move from a different country from what he lives in to live with me, and that's great that we have a future. I just don't understand why we're on 90 Day Fiancé and there's been no proposal. If you look at it, everybody else is either getting married or engaged.
What I tell you about dudes from up north?
That was a good one. Gotta love them up north men. Brandan is going fishing with his godparents before he leaves to meet Mary. He says he hasn't talked to his mom or siblings since the dinner that he's had, and he realizes that they're not going to give his relationship with Mary the support that he needs. So he gets concerned that his phone signal is going out because last time he went fishing, Mary got upset and accused him of cheating on him. Or cheating on her. His godmother,
guilty conscience that she got just is really
right. His
unsettling.
Godmother tries to reassure him that he will get his signal back soon. And I'm not gonna lie, shout out to his godparents, because clearly his mama cannot deal with this bullshit.
I wouldn't be able to deal with that either.
And that's clearly why he doesn't probably have many friends or is around too many people. I don't think too many people can stand to be around this type of toxicity.
Let me tell you something. The fact that she literally planned to take him fishing and found a place that has good cell reception, but where the fish you won't be able to find so well.
That irritated me too.
She was like, it might not be good for fishing, but it has good cell reception. What? See, when I go fishing, I like to go out on the boat. You ain't gonna have no cell reception. No.
Oh, speaking of that, well, I'll tell y'all at the end. But anyway, but I do have some tea to share with y'all. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in so y'all can get the tea. So yeah, his godparents say that ever since Mary came into his life, basically, they can't go anywhere without Wi-Fi. They can't even have a private conversation in their home. You wouldn't be able to live in my house. Just point blank period.
Look, that's why he's out.
So they asked him. Okay, so Cleo was wrong. Madam Cleo was wrong for once.
Oh yeah,
because
she was right.
Because apparently Brandan got some money. Okay.
He was working. I knew he had to be working.
And he done sent all his money over there to Mary. He only got $250 in his bank account. He done sent, I think he said, a total of over $50,000 to $60,000 for a house that they're supposed to be built.
Have a house built. Yeah. That's it's the house that she's in.
Oh, okay.
It's the house that she's in. It's to have the house built. And now the grandparents are living. That's why I was like, he's going to be living with. He confused the hell out of me because he was like, yeah, the grandparents are going to be staying with us for a little while. And I'm like, ain't you moving in their house? But then he said that he had the house built. And because of the typhoon, he has them living with him for a little bit. So that's his house that they're all in right now.
Okay, Brandan, with your $250. So they asked whether, look, I ain't mad at you. Well, you got equity. I don't know if they got equity over there, so I can't say nothing.
Let me tell you something. How old is he again?
23.
In his 20s, and already understands that he needs to protect and provide. Brandan. So I don't know about all this extra stuff you got going on here, But you guys, look, he got something down pat. Okay. I said, oh.
Well, he out here, he definitely got to protect and provide. So anyway, now his godmother brings up what is he going to do when he gets there? As I said, they just going to, love on each other, because he can't keep no job because he can't stay off the phone with Mary. He's been fired from multiple jobs because of this. And he doesn't know. He said he won't have any money when he gets to the Philippines, and he's just hoping for the best. He doesn't have a backup plan. And I said, if foolish were a person. So Brandan gets ready to leave for the Philippines and says he's worried if his mom will show up to say goodbye to him when he gets to the airport. And she does show up. She apologizes for her demeanor at dinner. And he's happy she came. She wishes him good luck. And he's on his way to meet Mary. Then when he gets there, on the plane, Mary goes all the way off. And clearly they must have had a flight that was not that full, because she flips out because he was sitting next to a female passenger, not somebody who knew, not a female stranger passenger, and accused him of effing her and all types of, I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't. And so this man actually changed seats, and she was still cussing him out and going off. And he
actually had nobody sitting next to him, and she was still going on with it. Oh, you're a liar and all this other stuff. She would have got blocked.
And now he's wondering if this was a mistake. You think? Please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And let me just say this, spoiler alert, spoiler. So if you do not want to know, now would be the time to exit stage left, cut the video off. It's been a pleasure. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. All right. So shout out to Auntie's advice. Gotta love Auntie. Word on these YouTube streets is that Brandan and Mary are already married, and she is expecting. So if we had any hope that Brandan was going to wake up and realize and be able to free himself, that hope is now gone. Because now she is with child. So if you thought she was
technically
before,
he's from the US. They do it all the time. So
I don't know. If you thought she was insane before,
you know
what it's giving me? It's giving me and when I heard it, I said, this is just gonna be another nasty repeat of Paul and Corinne. That's exactly what it's gonna be. But yeah, guys, so drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think about that little tea. What about, congratulations, Mary. Confetti.
I'm disappointed.
I don't want to say disappointed. Babies are a blessing, but like he said.
Oh no, I'm not disappointed. I'm disappointed in his decisions.
Oh yeah. Especially as we just learned that he didn't have a plan or a job. And it seems like he went out there and they like rabbits, and now the girl is pregnant. And so I hope that he does find work. I really do wish him the best. I hope it's not a Paul and Corinne situation. Remember, he got out there to her country and he couldn't get a job, and it was just bad. And then they came over.
Oh, I wonder, did he buy the house and he supports the family? Because she don't work either, right?
No. It's not looking good for your boy, Brandan. So thank you guys for tuning in to another review of 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way. If you have not already, which you should have because I've said it a couple times now, but just as a friendly reminder, like that email that you get from your coworker, per my last email, can you hit that like button?
Please comment,
subscribe,
and hit the notification bell.
Oh, And make sure that you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook. And I'm loving Twitter fam, loving the growth, loving the growth. Keep y'all. I'm telling y'all, when I be live on Twitter, we be having a real good time. But yeah, Twitter, IG, Facebook, TikTok. We appreciate the support. Let's keep growing, glowing. When we hit 500, we're going to have a nice little live. And yeah, and just celebrate with y'all. So watch us as we get closer and closer, and we will let you know when it drops and when it is. And hopefully you guys will come through to support us, say hello, congratulations. And yeah, let us know how long you've been a part of the Shade Squad. We appreciate it. And yeah, we will catch you next week for another review of The Other Way. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.